At a time when heartbreaking news emerges from the capital of starvation deaths of children, it is heartening to also mark the good news of good work being done by politicians, bureaucrats, teachers, all joining hands to educate our children, to make basic education not just free, but also something that's great quality, that all of these people, these stakeholders in education and our children's future work together and also invest themselves in making a difference. Reality Check tonight is a fascinating story of change emanating in Kerala and Delhi, among other parts of the country. In Kerala, just 2 years ago, the government wanted to show it means business in improving schools. The enrollment numbers were falling, and so they got to work in 2016. What did they do? Well, they identified a school in each assembly constituency, and then they said this school was going to be developed as a center of excellence. So 149 such schools were identified to be developed. 5 crores fund was sanctioned for each school by the government, and what they decided was to have more English classes and in Malayalam medium schools. That's always, if you cover education, the big draw for people is the aspiration that their children should learn English. And so the Kerala government decided they were going to give people that, give it in the government schools. And 45,000 high-tech classrooms with laptops, projectors, internet were all provided for. And then, this is the most amazing thing, politicians across parties enrolled their children in government schools. And what was the result of this massive drive? Suddenly, the long trend of government school enrollments falling and the rush for private education was stemmed. However, substandard, all of this in places in other areas were arrested as well. For the first time in 25 years, since 1991, it seems to have the whole government school enrollment is up by 6.3%. This is very, very significant. Till now, the government school enrollment was falling. In 25 years, it went up by 6.3%. Not just that, the private and unaided schools, their enrollment went down by 8%. Now, this is not just true of Kerala, but such efforts are also apparently arresting the fall in places like Rajasthan. But something more amazing is happening in Kerala, where apart from the politicians as well, other people, that's bureaucrats, teachers, they're also testing out their efforts by putting their children into these schools as well. It's a new trend because now in Delhi, it's picked up as well. 2 Delhi MLAs, Gulab Singh and Amanatullah Khan, are following their example. So here's a special report by Sneha Meri Koshi with inputs from Nimisha Jaiswal, and then we'll meet some of these politicians who are sending their children to government schools. This is totally unprecedented. Let's take a look at that.
13-year-old Gianna and her friends are only just getting used to the Manakad government school in Thiruvananthapuram. That's because they moved here from a private school this year.
I love the teachings in state school, and the way they teach us very kindly, and they teach them very friendly with us.
Each and every year the fees will increase and my mother can't manage it, so I come here.
For the first time since 1991, enrollment to government and government-funded schools in Kerala have increased by around 35,000 to a high of 1.8 lakh reverse migrations this year. And leading the way are the state's politicians who are heeding the call to enroll their wards.
We are promoting this bureaucrat. You should enroll your children in the public school, especially this MLAs, MPs, etc., etc. And they are coming to the public schools.
The mission cuts across party lines in Kerala. Congress MLA VT Balram, CPM MP MB Rajesh took to Facebook earlier to declare they had enrolled their children in government schools in class 1. One minister has even sent his grandchildren to state schools, and teachers have joined the trend too.
I have enrolled my 2 children in the nearby government lower primary school Arikad, which is just hardly 1 kilometer from my residence. It is not to send a message merely. It's because of my conviction and my confidence upon the standard of the government schools. I believe that government schools are far better than compared to many of the unaided English medium schools around.
ഞാൻ ഈ പൊതുവിദ്യാഭ്യാസ സ്ഥാപനങ്ങൾ ശക്തിപ്പെടുത്തണമെന്ന നിലപാട് ഞാൻ ജീവിതത്തിലുടനീളം ഉയർത്തിപ്പിടിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. എൻ്റെ കുടുംബവും ഉയർത്തിപ്പിടിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. എൻ്റെ 2 മക്കളും ഗവൺമെൻറ് സ്കൂളിലാണ് പഠിക്കുന്നത്. എൻ്റെ കുട്ടികളല്ല, എൻ്റെ മകൻ്റെ കുട്ടികൾ.
It is a duty of people like me as representative of people to send a message by sending our own children to government schools.
Perhaps to replicate the Kerala model, Delhi Aam Aadmi Party netas are joining the trend too. Amanatullah Khan today enrolled his daughter and son to class 6 and class 9 in a government school.
दिल्ली सरकार को 3 साल हुए आए हुए और 3 साल में हमने स्कूलों के अंदर सुधार किया है. तो आज एजुकेशन बहुत अच्छी है, इसलिए मैंने अपने बच्चों को सरकारी स्कूल में एडमिशन कराया है.
For many parents, it's very difficult to ensure quality education for their children. And these government schools across India can well be the solution. But very tough if politicians, if people in key positions keep themselves and their children away. With camera person SP Babu, Sneha Koshi for NDTV.
What strikes me about that particular report by Sneha is just how good those children who are in government schools, they're speaking in English. It's very different from the other government schools that you see around Delhi, where the big problem seems to be that they are not even able to read and write properly, or leave alone speaking in English that way. So it just gives an indication for even outsiders like me to gauge how well it's really doing. So let's meet these politicians who are sending their children in and what their children also feels about it. I'm really curious to know. In studio we have Amanatullah Khan, who has joined that brigade today in Delhi, and we also have MB Rajesh of the CPM, who actually his children were in Kendriya Vidyalaya and he decided to withdraw them from Kendriya Vidyalaya and send them in. And to help us understand, give us a perspective of, because he's been in education for such a long time, lawyer, education activist Ashok Agarwal is here as well to give us the third party perspective on this. I want to start with you, MB Rajesh, because it is fascinating. I spoke with Amanatullah's children earlier. I just met them outside. And they said, you know, his son said that he's happy, he's going to get new friends. But his daughter said she's going to miss her friends in the old school as well, which is natural for all children. Did your children complain?
See, let me correct first, because my younger daughter was not in Kendriya Vidyalaya. She was enrolled in a government school in Kerala in class 1. My elder daughter was in Kendriya Vidyalaya for 2-3 years. Then she was shifted to a government aided school first, then to a government school, in a high school. My elder daughter, when she was shifted from Kendriya Vidyalaya to a government school, she was very happy. She found new friends. Children will find friends very quickly. So she found new friends and she's very happy.
But you're a student activist, so you were also, and you're a left MP, so you were obviously dictated by your ideology and dictated by your principles. But is that fair to do that to our children?
See, yes, nothing unusual for us in Kerala, especially for the CPIM leaders, to send their children in government schools.
Right.
As you rightly pointed out, it's our ideological commitment.
That's right.
It's not only because of that. As my friend MLA was saying just now.
He's a Congress MLA. That's what's fascinating.
It's a Congress MLA.
Opposition
and for
MLA.
the first time, even Congress MLAs can send their children to government schools in Kerala because the left-wing government has created such a confidence among people. So that is a level of confidence created. See, let me complete. See, I too believe that the education imparted by government schools in Kerala is far better than many unaided private English medium schools, which are nothing but teaching shops. So it's my conviction and faith in public education that has inspired me to send my children to government school.
It's interesting. So, okay, we're seeing that trend in Kerala, also in Delhi. Amanatullah Khan ji, आप किस वजह से, आप और एक और MLA है गुलाब सिंह जी, आप दोनों अपने बच्चों को भेज रहे हैं? वो शायद कुछ दिनों पहले से भेज रहे हैं, 1-2 साल हो गए हैं उनको?
हाँ, वो 2-3 साल से वो भेज रहे हैं.
तो आपने अब क्यों डिसाइड किया? क्या आपको अरविंद जी ने बोला कि आप हमारे स्कूल इतने अच्छे हो गए उसमें भेजिए?
नहीं, मैंने खुद अरविंद जी को मैसेज किया। पिछली मरतबा मैं एक मुशायरा कराता हूँ, उसमें मैंने अनाउंस किया था कि मैं अपने बच्चों को दिल्ली सरकार के स्कूलों में एडमिशन कराऊंगा, क्योंकि मैं जब इस सरकार नहीं थी हमारी उससे पहले भी स्कूलों में गया हूँ और मैं अब भी स्कूल में जाता हूँ। तो अब के माहौल में और जब के माहौल में बड़ा फ़र्क है। लेकिन जो कॉन्वेंट पब्लिक स्कूल में पढ़ाने वाले लोग हैं वो डरते थे सरकारी स्कूलों में अपने बच्चों को भेजने के लिए। मेरे बहुत सारे दोस्त हैं जो मुझसे ये कहते हैं कि भाई आप ये गलत कर रहे हो, आप बच्चों का जो मुस्तकबिल है उसके साथ आप खिलवाड़ कर रहे हो। तो इस तरह की बातें जो मेरे बहुत सारे सपोर्टर हैं उन लोगों ने भी अलग अलग मैसेज किए मुझसे आकर कि मत कीजिए कि भाई बच्चों का मामला है, राजनीति से कम अपने बच्चों को अलग रखिए। लेकिन मेरा ये फैसला था और मेरी पूरी फैमिली का फैसला है। मेरे साथ में मेरे 3 भतीजों का भी एडमिशन आज हुआ है, वो भी हमदर्द में पढ़ते थे। और मेरे जो दोस्त हैं 3-4 दोस्त हैं जो खुद कॉन्वेंट से पढ़े हुए हैं और उनके बच्चे भी कॉन्वेंट पब्लिक स्कूल में पढ़ते थे, उन लोगों ने भी आज मेरे बच्चों के साथ में एडमिशन किया।
सो पार्ट ऑफ इट इज पॉलिटिक्स तो
नहीं, बिल्कुल। देखिए ये जो है राजनीति है। मेरे बहुत सारे लोग कह रहे हैं कि भाई ये आप राजनीति कर रहे हो, हम भी ये कह रहे हैं अगर अच्छे के लिए राजनीति हो तो उसमें कोई बुराई तो है नहीं।
You know, even Allahabad High Court feels the same. In 2015, if we can have that graphics up, in 2015, Allahabad High Court gave an order which said, send your children to government schools. That's what the Allahabad High Court said. This was their message. They said, they gave directions to the Uttar Pradesh Chief Secretary to say that the order should be applicable to government officials, judiciary, public representatives. If there was study in these schools, only then will they understand how they function. Those who send their children to private schools must contribute equal amount every month to state treasury. That's the significant thing which Allahabad High Court said. You agree with that, Ashok Agarwal?
Yes. I agree with the Allahabad High Court, but it is not easy to implement. But it is also not impossible to implement, both things. And I think I would also like to read one paragraph from the same judgment.
It's from that judgment?
Allahabad judgment.
Yeah.
Yes. It says, because the Allahabad High Court has said that classified these schools as elite schools, semi-elite school and common man schools.
Right.
These government schools have been categorized as common man schools. It says that the common man schools cater the need of primary education to only those poor people whom Honorable Mr. Justice Krishna Iyer once said, tiny million Indians who find it difficult to make arrangement for 2 times of meals, what to talk of other things. Whatever is made available by system, they have no choice but to avail it in conditions as and where it is. The government at the level of state and central both are harping every time and almost very frequently on the need of the improved primary school, but their intention has not resulted in execution and reality at grassroots level.
Well, I can say that after 3 years after that judgment from Allahabad High Court, it doesn't look like the UP government is, whether their bureaucrats or their politicians are actually sticking by that. But MB Rajesh, what's amazing is that all of the teachers seem very inspired as well. So all of you politicians are doing it, but the teachers doing it seems fascinating.
I can tell you that I know some teachers who are working in Kendriya Vidyalayas in my constituency who have taken TC from their respective schools and enrolled their children in government schools.
Yeah, because Kendriya Vidyalayas are better than any private schools. I mean, they're as good, if not better than any private schools.
That means that even the government schools in Kerala is better than Kendriya Vidyalayas. And these teachers, they have told me that the state syllabus is far better than CBSE syllabus. That's why they have taken their children out of Kendriya Vidyalayas and they are enrolling them in government-run schools in Kerala.
Okay.
And the level of confidence created by the government's effort and left-front government's effort is enormous. That this is inspiring all, cutting across political lines, all sections of people to enroll their children in government educational institutions. I will tell you, in the last 2 years, as you rightly pointed out, in the last 2 years, the enrollment in government schools has went up and the enrollment has went down in private schools.
That's what we've reported.
Proportionately. How this has happened? This has happened because government has introduced a program for enhancing the quality and infrastructure facilities in government
which
schools.
We talked about. Which I pointed out.
It's a 2-level program. One to enhance the infrastructure facilities. Number 2 is to enhance the quality by giving training to teachers to operate this ICT, etc.
It is quite possible, because you see, the parents send their children to the school for education, quality education. If you are able to give quality education, take care of the children, why any parent would like to send to the private
and spend
school?
so much money?
But in dilemma is that within the government system, within the public funded system, we have very good schools like Navodaya schools, Kendriya Vidyalaya, and if you see Delhi, Rajkiya Pratibha school, but only few number of children go to them. Why don't you make all Kendriya Vidyalaya or Navodaya Vidyalaya in tribal area also, Eklavya schools.
Yeah, of course.
Beautiful schools.
So you have those elite schools which are there. These are elite systems that have been set up. So I want to ask you, will the, okay, in Kerala there are quite a few of them that are going. In Delhi there's a new trend. Amanatullah Khan is going, Gulab Singh is going. Atishi Marlena is just joining us now. I'll go to her. I want to quickly hear from you. Do you think, looking at this, watching this show today, hearing about these politicians sending their children, do you think more people, this trend will increase, more people will go, and then that will fix the schools?
At the moment I see it as a tokenism.
It is
but
tokenism.
even if it is tokenism, it is good thing, because whatever small we can contribute to the strengthening of the government system is very important. If you don't have a water, enrollment will reduce. If you don't have a toilet system, children will reduce. On the other hand, if you have a drinking water, this, and with all that quality education, I think if you do it, I may tell you, or you make all India government schools upgraded to the level of Kendriya Vidyalaya, I always say, within 48 hours, 50% of parents sending their children to the private school will withdraw and send to it is not a prestige issue at all. It is an issue, parents, whether illiterate, literate, money people or poor, they know where their children can get good education, and they try also. They start from the top and land it up in the municipal schools.
Yeah, I'll let you in. Atishi Marlena is there. Atishi Marlena, is the Delhi government, when we see, is Kerala the model you're trying to follow? Because these figures are amazing, of 6.3% rise in 25 years for the first time it going up. We'll just go to Atishi. I think there's some problem with her audio. You wanted to quickly say something?
See, I hope that this show will have some impact and this will send some good message.
Yeah.
But much beyond this has to be done, and it's a question of political will. And if the government intervenes and if the government makes it a mass movement, in Kerala I can tell you that this has become a mass movement. Not only the intervention, the lead taken by the government, but the involvement of MPs, MLAs, local bodies, PTAs, and community organizations. So this has become a mass.
But MB Rajesh, are the middle classes, upper middle classes, are they following your example? Are they sending their children to government school?
Very much.
Are they?
Yeah, of course.
They are sending.
Of course.
But that's only in Kerala.
That is why the enrollment in unaided schools have come down and enrollment in government schools have increased. There is a shift from middle class students from private schools to government schools.
So Amanatullah ji, ये दिल्ली में कब होगा कि middle classes teachers, यहाँ पे तो हम सोच भी नहीं सकते, सरकारी स्कूल के जो टीचर्स भी होंगे उनके बच्चे भी शायद प्राइवेट स्कूल में पढ़ते होंगे, तो ये वाला शिफ्ट कब आएगा?
देखिए, दिल्ली में जो हालात थे, दिल्ली में एक क्लास में 80-80, 100-100 बच्चे पढ़ते थे।
यस।
बहुत सारे बच्चे ऐसे थे जो जमीन पर पढ़ते थे, उनके लिए कोई क्लासरूम नहीं थे, नए स्कूल बने नहीं, नई क्लासरूम बनी नहीं। हम लोगों ने आने के बाद 8000 नए क्लासरूम बनाए, 12000 हम इस साल बनाने जा रहे हैं। तो हमारे पास जगह ही नहीं थी पढ़ने के लिए, बच्चों को बैठने के लिए जगह नहीं थी, तो वो कहाँ से हम नए बच्चों को वहाँ लेकर आते। अब जिस तरह से आज लोग डरते हैं सरकारी स्कूल में पढ़ाने के लिए, तो हम लोग अपने आप को, अपने बच्चों को सिर्फ इसीलिए एडमिशन हम दे रहे हैं कि सरकारी स्कूल में हम एडमिशन दें, लोगों के अंदर हिम्मत आए। और मैं पहले स्कूल देखा है और अब भी स्कूल देखा है, तो एजुकेशन के अंदर जो दिल्ली के अंदर सुधार हुआ है वो अब से पहले कभी नहीं हुआ, और शायद ही कोई सरकार ऐसी हो।
अभी तो संगम विहार में मैं पिछले हफ्ते होके आया हूँ, 107 बच्चे एक क्लास में, 50% बच्चे absent.
We're going to try and talk in English so that our Kerala audience can definitely understand. Yeah.
So the most important thing which I want to raise is we should not open discriminatory type of schools.
Right.
We should reduce it.
Yes.
So that every child should get equal opportunity.
I understand. Okay, so Atishi Marlena, we've just played out a report of how many politicians in Kerala, cross party lines from the Congress to the left, they're sending, and teachers are sending their children to government schools. When can we expect that in Delhi, apart from the 2 MLAs of yours who are already doing so?
No, the fact that 2 of our MLAs have sent their children to private schools, and Mr. Amanatullah Khan, who was just speaking before me, he has admitted his children in a government school today itself. He has shifted his own children from a very well-known private school of his locality to a government school near his home. And I think this is really a show of confidence on behalf of both of our MLAs, that this is an indicator of the fact that they believe that schools have been transformed enough that they admit their children. And I think this show of confidence will also inspire confidence amongst others to make this choice, that our child, instead of going to a private school, can go to a government school, can actually perform well. And I think that this confidence has only been possible after our efforts in the last 3 years, where we have improved infrastructure, where we have improved teacher training, where we have improved accountability. And today people are beginning to consider government schools as schools of choice. This is not to say that everything is perfect. This is not to say that we don't have things to improve. But I think that we have come a very long way in the past 3 years.
Why are you shaking your
I don't
head?
agree with Atishi that as today, Delhi people are thinking that government schools are better than private schools. Enrollment is going down. What they are trying to...
Which is across the country. Only Kerala has managed to change it.
Yes, Kerala is an exception because the government has become very serious about education and quality education of the children going to the government school. If this happens everywhere, I think enrollment will increase and quality will increase.
So you're saying it's a long way to go?
It is a long way, and I think it is a welcome step that at least some MLAs and other politicians are coming up.
I don't think that we are denying that
But
there
here,
is a long way.
here admissions,
Okay, let us,
But I think that the only point that I'm making is that in the past 3 years, substantial change has happened.
Sure.
Hundreds and hundreds of children who want admission in Delhi government school, they are denied. If some child is unable to open school because his fingerprints are not coming, he is denied on that ground. It is a shame.
Okay, I know. We don't want to dwell. We don't want to. Ashok ji, we don't want to dwell on this. Go ahead, Atishi.
No, I was saying that I think what one needs to understand when one is looking at the education system in Delhi is that primary schools, which are grade 1 to 5, is the responsibility of the municipal corporation, and this is the responsibility of the municipal corporation that has been abdicated for decades. Therefore, much of the pressure that exists on our schools precisely because that the job that was meant to be done by the MCD schools is not being done. So while Delhi government is supposed to provide secondary education and has only very limited facilities for primary education.
Okay, well,
I think that
I really want to, on this show, we really want to focus on what's being done right. We focus too often on all the things going wrong. On this show today, we want to focus on the good news because of these amazing figures that have come out. I just wanted to ask you, Rajesh, as we finish the show, do you think this pitching of English, even though there's a huge rise in regional pride, everyone talks about even Kannada, in Karnataka, that was a major issue of the rise of the assertion of the language, but the government being practical and saying we'll have English, that was a huge factor, do you think?
Yeah, that is an important factor. I don't want to ignore or to downplay the importance of people's love for English, because people think that if their kids can speak,
that's what parents want.
Speak good English, they will get better opportunities in life. So that is a factor. So government is addressing that factor also. In the current year, the government in Kerala is going to introduce language labs in government schools in Kerala to improve the learning of English. And both teaching and learning of English.
Well, whatever they're doing, MB Rajesh, I hope they keep it up because these figures have seemed to have
one more point.
Trend. We're totally out of time. Very quickly.
I would like to make
the government is doing this in Kerala despite the negative attitude of the union government.
I would like to make
also an important thing. That's also an important
few seconds suggestion that it should be left to the option for the parents to go for English or whosoever asks for. It does not mean the regional language should be abolished.
So Amanatullah Khan and MB Rajesh, thank you for sharing your personal stories of how you're sending your children to government schools and inspiring many others, and hopefully our schools in Delhi or other parts of the country also come up to that level where we don't hesitate in sending our children there as well. Thanks very much. That's it on Reality Check. We'll be back again next week. Join us then. Goodbye.